So my first track day of this season is tomorrow, and I still have lots to do to get it track ready. So in this episode, I'm gonna be maintaining, fixing, and upgrading this Mazda 3 so it's as track ready as possible. I'm JP, and this is Driving Production.
The first thing I do is drive up the ramps to have access under the car, to change the oil from the engine, the transmission, and flush out the brake lines. If you're wondering why I'm still on gravel, if the last video I was in my new shop, it's because I'm renovating it completely. That's where most of my free time has been going, and not building cars. But once I have the shop set up, I'll be able to produce more videos and focus more on car stuff. So back to the oil change. Mazda recommends 0W20 in most areas for the Skyactiv G engines, 5W30 in warmer climates. Since I'm taking this car to the track and will be mostly at high RPMs, I'm trying some 5W40 to see just how the car feels with this oil. For the transmission oil, I'm using Amsoil Synchromesh, even though it's not really what's recommended for the manual transmission by Mazda. But it shifted so well with this fluid, afterwards I highly recommend it. And I know a lot of you guys comment how rusty this car is, and you're right, it is. I wish it wasn't. And that's that. Now for the brakes. I'm doing a brake fluid flush and a brake service. This is when I realized that my tires weren't gonna make it on track tomorrow because of the cracks and the thread left on them. I really thought I could manage to get one more track day out of these tires before getting new ones, but that's not the case. Anyhow, we'll deal with that later. For the brake service, I like to usually do it twice a year, if I can. But with more track use, I'll probably be cleaning the bushings and pads before every event. Since I'm by myself, I got this pump off Amazon to create a vacuum at the caliper itself. It works okay, seems to create some bubbles, but I make sure to let it gravity bleed before tightening the bleeder valve. Now back to my tire situation. Just for this track day, I'm gonna borrow the wheels and tires off our 2014 Mazda 3 GT with Motomaster Performance Edge Ultra High Performance All Season tire, which are a rebrand of some type of Salem tire from my understanding. Even though these are not track tires, they work surprisingly well, and I was able to have a great time with them. And just like that, I'm somewhat ready for my first track day of the season. I'm on my way to Shannonville Motorsport Park right now. We have a nice clear day. I was supposed to leave at 5:30 this morning, and my alarm didn't go off, so I didn't wake up until 6. So I'm a little late as far as the time I wanted to leave. I am pretty disappointed I don't get to run my Koning wheels because I do feel the weight difference with the Mazdaspeed wheels on the car right now. So every time I do a pull, I can feel the engine and the transmission are really good with the flush, and the synchro mesh really feels really good. But I feel like that extra rotational weight from the Mazdaspeed wheels. So especially this being such a small displacement with just a 2-liter. You can definitely feel the extra weight. So tires, with the way they looked, I didn't want to risk it on the track with cracked tires at high speeds. I don't want an accident to happen, so it's better to be safe for sure. had a complete blast at Shannonville Motorsport Park for my first track day of the season. But of course, there's always room for improvement.
First time cars in the shop.
So this was quite a special moment for me. I just had to soak it in, because if you've been following along for a bit, you know I've been building this Mazda on my back, on gravel, in my driveway. So to just be able to work on my Mazda 3 on a concrete slab in a shop I've been building means a lot.
After my first track day, there's still lots of room for improvement. One thing that can help in both performance and handling and braking is by losing a few pounds. But before I actually start removing some weight from the car, I'll have to address the exhaust note. Its current form is really loud since it's naturally aspirated, and it drones quite a bit. So I know that if I start removing some of the pieces on the inside, it's gonna make the car even louder. So before I do that, I'm gonna have to fix the exhaust. And to be able to fix that problem, I got this and this.
This is a vibrant, ultra quiet resonator. And well, like the name says it resonates ultra quietly. And this is an exhaust megaphone. This is not a very common mod for cars, and it's mostly found in motorcycles. It's supposed to change the exhaust note and potentially, with the megaphone shape, create a small scavenging effect that could help produce a little bit more power. But we'll see on that. Before I can install these parts, I need to remove the exhaust. To do so, I removed this brace that I'm pretty sure is exclusive to the BL Sky Active version of the Mazda 3. And that's just a cool little feature that you get with the Sky Active compared to the MZR platform. With the exhaust removed, off it goes to the welding shop, and we'll get back to it later. Part of doing the weight reduction I wanted to do is remove the AC. Since I live in Canada, I can blink twice and summer is gone, with 3 feet of snow outside, and that could be a substitute for my AC. To do so, I remove all the lines, the compressor, the condenser, the belt, and tensioner.
So the serpentine belt is all installed, the alternator is installed. While I was at it, I did install a new water pump belt. It was right there. Looking at both of them, the water pump belt was actually pretty decent. There was no cracks or anything. The serpentine belt, there was a few like really tiny cracks, but apart from that, like it was pretty good. The tensioner is a pretty common issue with the Sky Active. I had to replace the 2014 2.5. That one was like super loose. I did change it at like 230,000, but this one definitely has some play in the bearing of the tensioner. That's why I was kind of looking forward to removing it and just deleting the tensioner completely. My initial thought was a belt that was tight enough that I could just run the alternator to the crankshaft. By measuring it and everything, the smallest that I could get to the size that I measured was 29.5. After that, it goes into the 28. So I installed the 29.5. It fits on pretty tightly, but there was still some play. Like if I pinched the belt together from the bottom to the top, I had probably an inch to an inch and a quarter of play on the belt. On top of that, I could grab the belt and make it slip on the crankshaft pulley. So I wasn't too fond of that, which got me thinking that I was just going to reinstall the tensioner that came with the car, but the tensioner actually goes way lower than the crankshaft, which means without an AC, the belt would probably touch the bottom side of the belt itself, because the alternator goes directly to the crankshaft. Keeping that in mind, I figured I'd just do some notches on the alternator to just move it a little bit. That's all it needed. And then by taking off the alternator, Mazda already did it for me. So even looking it up online, I couldn't find a Sky Active diagram that didn't have an AC serpentine belt. Maybe in some countries, I would assume that the Sky Active engine came without an AC. I'm not sure if that's the belt setup, just a direct belt to the alternator they had. So a 29.5-inch belt with 6 ribs. Just need to loosen both alternator bolts. Essentially pry the alternator as much as you can with a pry bar and then retighten everything. The belt is pretty much perfect right now with the way it's tight. So at this point, we're just gonna put the front end back together. I'm pretty much done in this area. I'm gonna step inside the car to remove more stuff from it.
Before I put the front end back together, as you might have noticed earlier, my headlights are yellow. So I'm wet sanding them with 800 and then 2000 grit, letting them dry and using 2 coats of 1K clear afterwards.
When your heart is racing at the speed of light, and you feel like you got nowhere else to go. No, I'll hold you till the sun comes in the morning light. Yeah, I'll keep you safe, I'll never let you go. When your heart is racing at the speed of light.
With the front end back together, I can start removing some of the interior. Now, this isn't a car I use regularly. I can't remember the last time I had someone in the back seat. To give you an idea, I only put about 4,000 kilometers on it last year. So not having a back seat isn't really a big deal for me. As I'm removing everything, I make sure to weigh what I'm removing just to see how much weight I removed. I'll go over all the weight at the end of the video.
When your heart is racing at the speed of light. When your heart is racing at the speed of light. When your heart is racing at the speed of light.
Not only am I removing the back seats, but also the front ones. Yes, I still have the Speed, and we'll be doing some work on it soon. But in the meantime, it doesn't need the front seats, so I'll be borrowing those for now.
When your heart is racing at the speed of light.
The reason I want to install these in the Mazda 3 is because they're both manual seats. As opposed to the second gen seats that I have right now, the driver's side is power. So that adds a lot of weight with the electric motors. Hopefully I can save maybe 10 pounds on the driver's side. One thing I did notice by measuring the actual weight of these seats, the passenger seat, because it doesn't have a height adjustability like the driver's side, that adds 10 pounds. And this is a manual seat. So I'm really curious to see how much the power seat weighs. I do remember when I did install it in the car, I did feel like it was just heavy to hold on to. Another thing that I didn't really like with the Mazdaspeed second gen seat, I am 6 feet tall, so I'm always at the lowest setting on the seats. I don't know if that's something you guys notice with your own Mazda 3, if you feel like you're sitting up high. That's one thing that I don't like, is the seating position in this car. I always feel like I'm sitting like on top of the seat instead of like sitting like in the car. I don't have that problem with the third generation, my wife's car. I feel like the seat is much lower and it feels a lot more comfortable to drive. Hopefully with these, it's gonna sit a little bit lower. If not, maybe we can do some like custom brackets or something, or even get a non-adjustable bracket, or just upgrade to a set of racing seats. For now, I am going to clean them because they are completely disgusting. They're full of stains, so I got the steamer to wash them and to clean them and to be able to let them dry overnight.
Of course, things don't just line up. For the driver's side, I had to move one bracket, and for the passenger side, I had to move 2 brackets. But overall, a fairly straightforward process. This is the factory mounting location, and this is where I had to mount it. For the harness, on the driver's side, it's not too bad. There's just a few connectors that I had to reconnect the car harness. I don't have my heated seats anymore, but that's okay. On the passenger, it gets a bit tricky and still wasn't able to figure out a way to not throw an airbag light, since the 2012-2013 had updated sensors compared to the previous years. So it might be easier to do the swap for seats if you have a 2010 or 2011.
So another aspect that I'm going to be upgrading on this car is on the steering wheel. I already upgraded to a first generation Mazdaspeed steering wheel, and I think it already looks so much better. When I did have my 335i BMW, one thing that I really liked is that it had a sport steering wheel, which made the diameter of the wheel a lot thicker.
So I got this kit off eBay, which supposedly is leather that looks like suede or Alcantara. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested. I started by removing the wheel and cleaning it with the greaser. You can definitely see the wear on the factory leather. Then I get to the sewing. It's not complicated once you get a hang of it, but man does it take time. Also, I snapped the thread 2 or 3 times because I was pulling too much on it and had to restart the whole section again. In the end, I absolutely loved the steering wheel and how it turned out, but I'm not sure if I'd spend another 6 hours to do it all over again to another steering wheel. My sway bar bushings are not the right size, and the bushing even popped out of the mount once. So I got a set of energy poly bushings to replace them.
As I was adjusting the sway bar retainers, not sure exactly what these are called, but they hold the sway bar from going side to side. So as I was moving it over, I guess this one was worn out and it just cracked into two pieces. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to be doing because I don't think I can get one for Friday. Today's Tuesday and Friday's the next track day, so if not, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
In the end, I was able to screw it in, and it ended up holding for the whole track day.
In order to maximize the braking performance of the car, I got a few upgrades for the brakes. And I got a set of EBC yellow brakes. On top of that, I'm pretty excited for these. I've been wanting to do these on this car pretty much since I got it, because I actually installed braided brake lines on my white Mazda 3 beforehand, and it did improve the brake response quite a bit. Plus I have the Motorsport brake bushing, the copper brake bushings on the front and rear calipers. So I think with this brake combination, the car's going to stop really well. I am pretty excited to install the stainless steel brake lines, but at the same time, I'm a little concerned just because the brake lines are pretty rusted. On the other hand, I have been spraying the brake lines for almost a week of just penetrating oil on them. If I see that it's too rusted, I might just do the brake pads for now, and then go to the track day. I come back, maybe just change the brake lines.
So at this point, even with the brake line wrench, I felt that if I kept going, it would strip. So I added some heat to it, and that seemed to do the trick. After doing the one side, it was just a rinse and repeat, and went almost without issues. Until I got to the passenger front caliper, where I realized that it was seized. Fortunately, again, I have the speed that I can access. It's becoming more of a parts car than a project car at this point. So I took the caliper off of it to get to the event.
All right, so I just got the exhaust back from the exhaust shop yesterday, and I gotta say, it's looking really good. Hopefully it's gonna quiet it down, change the tone of the exhaust. Really curious to see how it's gonna sound. So yeah, it's just a matter of throwing that on the car, and I think we're pretty much good to go after that.
And just for fun, here's some more rusty shots of my car.
And finally, for tires, I'm pretty stoked. I got a new set of tires. As you can see earlier in the episode, my Michelin Pilot 4S were not doing too good, so I went with some Nankang NS2Rs. These seems to be like a kind of enduro longevity track tires. Initially, I did want to go with some Hankook RS4s, but the shipping time and delivery time was midsummer. So I wanted to get the tires as soon as possible. They had these in stock. They seemed like a decent tires. I was also looking at the AR1s, which are a little bit more of a almost semi-slick tires with 100 tread wear. But the wet drivability is not so good, and I do drive this car not as a daily driver, but I like to take it out and not have to worry about like what kind of weather we're gonna get. So I went with these. Hopefully they have some pretty good traction on them. My Michelin Pilot Sports were 215 45 17. These are 225 45 17. So there's a little bit more profile to the wheel. So it's going to be a little bit higher. It's going to reduce my torque a little bit, but I'm hoping I can gain with the width of the tire, get a little bit more traction. Yeah, I'm excited to put them on and see how the car feels with its new wheels.
All right, so cars on the ground definitely gained some clearance in the back. The ride height's definitely a lot higher than it was, but I definitely gained in some fitment. Like, oh man, it just pokes just a little bit. I really hope I'm not going to be rubbing though, but it looks like really aggressive. I don't even know if the camera can do it justice. It looks so good with these wheels. Alright, so I am now on my way to my second track day at Shannonville. Really excited to see how the car performs this time, especially with the mods that were done and with some proper tires, the brakes and everything. Good, the brakes feel really good. I just have to touch the brake pedal and the whole car just brakes. With some weight in the back, because I did bring some tools and like the spare tires since it's a longer trip. Like the car does rub a little bit like over some big bumps. Probably when I get back, I'll probably be rolling or pulling the fenders a little bit to get that sorted out. The exhaust is a little bit louder than I expected. I'm hoping that it's going to quiet down a little bit as I drive it. But it's still similar to what it was beforehand. It does have less drone from what I can see, a lot less droney, so that's nice. Like it is definitely a little bit quieter. The tone is different, and even now with the back remove of the car, obviously the noise level went up, like just the NVH. But it's not that bad. I think it's gonna be a good day with especially less weight on the rear wheels. It might help with the rotation. Not that this car really needed it, because it does rotate really well. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing how the car handles and how the car feels at the racetrack.
turn off though. I can't believe it's already been more than a month since my last track day. Every time I go at the track, I'm always impressed how good this car drives, and it just keeps getting better and better. With the tires, the Nankang NS2Rs, I was really surprised. The amount of grip that came out of the tires is way more than what is my driver capability with the car. Before I even think about exceeding the amount of grip to step up to another tire, I still have a lot of improvement personally to work on. So hopefully they last a decent amount. I'm hoping for at least a season of track use and just spirited driving with these tires, and I'd be pretty happy with those. Also, driving the car a little bit more in the last month with the track day and whatnot, the exhaust definitely toned down a little bit. It's not as quiet as I wish it was. I do wish it was a little bit quieter, but I mean, that's the reality of having a naturally aspirated car. There's no more drone in the car, which is great. It makes the car a lot more enjoyable to drive, more livable with this exhaust setup. Could it be quieter? Yes, I wish it was, but it's definitely an improvement. The braking performance at this point is insane. It's on par with the tires. It's at the point where the first few sessions I really had to get used to the car because I was braking way sooner, and then I was coming in way too slow for the corner because my braking power plus the added grip that the tire were providing, I was braking way earlier and taking corners at way slower speed than what the car can actually handle. So for the actual amount of weight that I took out, I'll leave some specific specs of how much exactly each item that I took out in the description if you want to see more specifics. But overall, I removed 164 pounds out of the car. So it's pretty impressive that just basic things. I didn't go crazy with the weight reduction. It removed that much. The Mazda 3 definitely feels a lot peppier to drive and has a little bit more power. So right after my first track day, I actually went to a truck station to weigh the Mazda 3 just to see how much it weighed, because looking online, there's so much weight difference for the Mazda 3, especially the BL. It seems that it goes from 2,700 pounds to all the way to 3,000 pounds. So I just went and weighed it with the Mazdaspeed wheels, and the car came to a weight of 2,998 pounds. So pretty much 3,000 pounds. And right now I'm sitting at 2,834 pounds. That's including a full tank of gas, pretty much curb weight, how it should be. That's without myself in the car. But going at the track, it definitely made me realize how much improving my personal skills is much more important than driving a fast car. And I have so much to learn by going back. I'm excited for the rest of the season to see what this car can do. I am due for an oil change, even though I did 5W40. With 2 track days, the oil is starting to be pretty dark. So this time I'm gonna be trying some 10W30. And also the experience of just going at the track is definitely one I'd recommend. If you're just thinking about it, definitely go, even if your car is not modified. I would 100% go to the track with a stock car. The only recommendation I have for someone that wants to track their car is just make sure that it's in good condition. After doing a 20-minute session, you're really pushing your car and you're really getting to see the endurance of your build or your factory car. So if your brakes are low or if your suspension is worn out, you can be in serious danger. It was interesting to see a lot of turbo cars on track that like brand new Civic Type Rs, even Focus RS or whatnot. You'd see a lot of guys, they'd do a couple hot laps and then they'd have to slow down their pace just because of the heat building up with turbo cars. And I have to say that the Mazda 3 has been holding up great because most of the day I was just doing hot lap after hot lap after hot lap, and it's over 200,000 kilometers already. So and it's still driving really well. I think that's pretty much it for this episode. It's definitely been a long episode, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been a blast to build this car and to see what it can actually do on track. It keeps impressing me, so super excited. Of course, thank you guys for watching. Driving production wouldn't be possible without you guys who are watching it. So big thank you to you guys who are watching this video. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.